Hey everybody, we're doing test remediation for equations. This is the foundations of math class. I need the volume up for sure so that you can hear what's going on. May want a highlighter and a pencil, and you need to do everything I do on the left side, and then you're going to do the same thing on the right. And here we go. Okay, so we've got cues in the video to see if we're listening. So if you're listening, I want you to flip over on the back of this packet, and I want you to write, I'm listening. Okay. One of the most missed test questions here, you know, the order that we do things in. First thing we're going to do is distribute, if there's something to distribute, and you need to be writing all of this. We need to combine like terms on the same side of the equation. Then we need to do inverse operations to get the variables together on one side. And I like putting them on the left-hand side. And when you do that, you're going to be left with a two-step equation to solve. Okay, so those are your steps. So in this first one, we have nothing to distribute. There's no parentheses here. So we're going to look to see if we can combine like terms, and we can. First thing to realize is when we're combining like terms, we cannot combine all of these together. We can only combine what's on one side of the equation. So I know you guys like to sometimes separate it like this. And so we need to be looking on the left-hand side to see if there's anything we can combine, and we can. We can combine the 7x, and we can combine the negative 2x, and we combine them exactly the way we see them. This is 7 minus 2, which is 5x. And we're going to bring everything else down, bring your equal sign down. Now, can we combine anything on this side? No, we cannot. An x term does not go with a constant, so we're just going to bring everything down. Okay. The next step is to get the variables on the left-hand side together, and we're going to do inverse operations. So I have a negative 3x, which I need to get on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite of subtracting 3x. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And notice I'm lining up my variables. So a negative 3x and a positive 3x cancels. 5x plus 3x is 8x, and I'm going to bring everything down that I didn't mess with. Now I have a two-step equation, so I need to be focused where my variable is. I need to move the 4 and the 8. I'm going to move the 4 first because I want to do addition and subtraction first. The 4 is added, so the opposite would be subtracting it, and I have to do it to both sides of the equation. Negative 4 plus 4 is a 0. That's why I'm crossing it out. Bring down your 8x. Bring down your equal sign, and 8 minus 4 is 4. And we're tempted just to stop here and think that the answer is 2, but we need to be careful. We need to follow through with the last step. I need to get the x isolated, and by itself the 8 is multiplied, so to get rid of it I'm going to divide both sides by 8. All right, 4 over 8 is not 2. 4 over 8 reduces to 1/2. How do I reduce that? Well, I know that for both of these numbers I can divide by 4. So if I divide 4 by 4, I get a 1. If I divide 8 by 4, I get a 2. So the answer is 1/2. Now what you're going to do, you're going to pause this video. You're going to find your sheet that has the problems you're going to put on the right hand side. You're going to pick which equation is worked out the same way and looks just like the one in number 1, and you're going to glue that on this side, and you're going to work it out exactly the way we worked out the left side. Okay? And if you're listening, I want you to write your mother's first name or your father's first name in right here. Okay, let's go to number 2. Okay, number 2. We are working a two-step equation. It says for what value of x is this equation true? For what value of x means we're solving for x. This is a two-step equation. Now, we might be a little concerned that we've got a 0 over here, but we're going to ignore it and we're going to work out a two-step equation just as if this was any other number. So, with my x, I have got a 21 that is added, and I've got a -3 that is divided. We are going to add and subtract first, so we're going to get rid of this 21. The 21 is added, so the way I get rid of it is I do the opposite operation. I'm going to subtract 21 on both sides of the equation. If you like to put your dotted line down through here, that's fine. So positive 21 and negative 21 is 0, so that cancels out. We're going to bring down what's left, which is negative x divided by 3 equals 0 minus 21 is a negative 21. Okay? Now, we might be tempted to divide both sides by 3, but here's the deal. The 3 is already divided, so we have to do the opposite of division in order to get this 3 or this negative 3 to go away. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So I am going to multiply both sides by -3. My -3's cancel. I bring down my x, I bring down my equal sign, and I am doing a -21 times a -3. Negative times negative is positive, and 21 times 3 is 63. All right, if you're listening and you have a pet, put your pet's name right here next to question number T2. If you do not have a pet, just write, I do not have a pet. Now you might want to pause the video and find the question that goes with this one. Let's glue it and do this and show all your work just like we did over here. All right, last problem for the test remediation. Let's remember our rules. We wrote them on the first page. This is the order we're doing them in. Okay, so first step, if we can distribute something we want to distribute, and we actually can, we can distribute on this side and on this side. So we're going to distribute. So when we're distributing, we're multiplying. So 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times -8 is -16. We're going to bring down our equal sign. We're going to distribute on the right-hand side of the equation. 2 times 7x is 14x. And let's not forget to distribute the 2 times the 2. They're both positive, so that's going to give me a positive 4. All right, the next step is to get the variables to the left together. And so I'm moving them across the equal sign, so I have to do opposite operations. So I am going to subtract 14x from both sides of the equation. That's a 0, so I'm going to cancel it out. 6 minus 14x is negative 8x. I'm going to bring down all the stuff I didn't mess with. So I'm going to bring down the minus 16. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. I'm going to bring down my 4. I now have a two-step equation. So I want to get rid of the 16. It is subtracted. The way I get rid of that, if it's subtracted, is I'm going to add 16 to both sides. Bring down negative 8x. Bring down your equal sign. We're going to combine these and we get a 20. And last step, we're going to divide both sides by negative 8. And we get x equals negative 20 divided by 8. I look over here and I don't see that answer. The reason why is 20 over 8 can be reduced. I'm going to show you how to reduce that on the calculator. So hopefully you can reduce on your own. I know that on the EOC, if you have to enter this and it's not reduced, the EOC will still count it correct. But I'm going to show you on the calculator how to reduce this. So we type in negative 20 divided by 8. We can press enter, doesn't matter. And we get a decimal. So what we do is we go to this math button. And notice number 1 says frac. And then we enter, and it will reduce that fraction for us. The answer is negative 5 over 2. All right. If you're listening, look down, see what color shirt you have on, and write the color of your shirt right here next to question number T3. And then match up your last question and work it out just like we did here. Hope you guys have a great day.